Hello, and we are live on our Readers Are Leaders. We changed the name. Like I said last week, Readers Are Leaders call. And I'm going to get used to that new name. However, it's appropriate because we aren't readers to leaders. We are born leaders, and we're just bringing out our capacity to be better leaders. After all, you're always leading your own life. You're always leading your own life. Okay? And you choose to follow other leaders. So you always, always are a leader. So reading just makes us become better leaders. And so that's why the new name is Readers Are Leaders. So welcome to Readers Are Leaders, the book club for empowerment. This Saturday's call, we're going to talk about the billionaire mindset, and I'm going to do the conference call now. We actually do this both on phone call and through the internet so that there's more options for people. So let me just call in the number. Usually I do this beforehand. So. Okay, let me. And I apologize for starting a little late again. I'm still getting used to this Saturday morning wake up. As you may or may not know, my name is May, and I work a full-time job. And our latest is Friday night. We again work at 6 at the bank. So I get home kind of late, and then I hang out with my husband and my baby, and then I pick early Saturday morning because sometimes we go surfing, and also I found the number. Okay, because we go surfing. Okay, almost done. I have to do all of these special things. Medelblauw. Hi, welcome again. We are Readers Are Leaders. We empower the book club for empowerment. Today we're going to talk about billionaire mindset, and the group name has changed. As I was just explaining on the online webinar, the group name is now Readers Are Leaders instead of Readers to Leaders, and that's because we are always leading our life. Even when we're a baby, because my baby certainly has his own personality, and he certainly leads his own life. Where he wants to go, what he wants to grab, and has nothing to do with me. So I have to say, we are leading our life all the time. Reading just helps us become better at leading our life, and that doesn't mean you don't follow other leaders, because you choose to follow a leader. Therefore, you are still leading when you are following someone else. However, I guess the biggest thing is to discern when you should be, maybe in the front leading and when you should be following. And for me, I found that I tend to stand back more than I should step forward, which is why I force myself to take on leadership roles right now on the internet so much, and forcing myself to take even more leadership roles gradually, because I'm I don't know. I have the capacity to do a lot of different things in terms of community organization stuff. So that's just me, though. You might lead in whatever way you lead. I'm me, or you might be Barack Obama, and then of course you're leading the country. So anyway, moving on. This is a book. No, this is the wrong book. Let me go get the right book. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. The book is The Values Factor by Dr. John D. Martini. And in this book, we're doing exercise on page, let's see, we're doing the exercise on page 244. 244. So I've actually been working on this exercise for the past 3 weeks now. So I guess it's also a challenging exercise. So for me anyway, so let's finish it today. Before I go there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go announce this hangout to people so they know they can get on. Let me just do that real quick right now, and then we're going to jump right in and finish up this exercise. Okay, hold on a sec. Okay, so all I'm doing is I'm writing up a post on Facebook in the group to tell them they can join in live. Okay, I posted it up. Just have to share it in a few places, and then we can get started and finish this up. Almost done here. Share it in 2 more places. Share it in 2 more places. There we go. One more place. What is it called? I'm sharing it in 1 more place. Okay, we're done sharing. So now, bye mom. My mom's going out for a walk. Okay. So now we're going to get started. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the file that I was working with the past couple weeks, and we're going to do it together with that file. And if you are listening or you are watching, what we're doing is we listed the traits that we liked, admired most about 3 billionaires, and the traits that we disliked most about those 3 billionaires, and I'm doing an exercise with those traits. So I did Oprah Winfrey, Warren Buffett, and Donald Trump, and I started doing the exercise of the traits. And really what I was doing the last 3 times was just researching everything I could about them on the internet in this time period so that I knew more about them so I could figure out what I liked and didn't like about them. Because I really don't know as much about them as I thought I did until I started researching them. And I think it's important to do this kind of thing because it helps give a perspective on how they got to where they got, what they did, what they had to go through, and their choices. And so it's like an example to learn from, and they all did it, of course, differently. However, it's good to understand, how they got there. Okay, so I found my paper. So what I'm going to do is if you're on this Hangout with me live, hi, I'm going to share the spreadsheet right now. Okay, and if you're on the phone, I'm just going to talk about what I'm doing. Okay, so here are the traits that I admired, and so what we do next is we have these traits we admire and we dislike. So Donald Trump here. I was working on Donald Trump last week, and I got the trait, and I just started working on the second exercise. So let's finish it with Donald Trump. The 5 traits I admired most were guts, business savvy, focus, flair and style, and marketing genius. And the 5 traits that I disliked the most were he was in the birthing movement against Barack Obama, he's arrogant and vain, and he wants his name on everything, he cheated on his wife, he highly publicized his private matters, and he has a lack of concern for community around his building. If he wants to build it, he doesn't care about anyone. Okay. And I moved on to step 3. So the nice thing about Donald Trump is I could find 5 traits that I admired and 5 traits I disliked. On the other billionaires, it was really hard for me to find 5 traits I disliked. So, step 3 is you take the admired trait, and then you have to figure out when you had it, the admired and the disliked trait, both of them. You have to figure out when you demonstrated it to come to the point where you don't admire it so much in the billionaire, and you realize you have that trait in yourself. So what that means is, for him, I said I admired guts, right? I think Donald Trump has a lot of guts. He decided he wanted to build this fancy, schmancy building in New York City, and he used his dad's money, his collateral, and it could have been a total failure, in which case he would have been humiliated, and his dad would have obviously lost a ton of money. However, he made it work. So that's guts. And then from then, he's done so many other business ventures. Okay, so I admire his guts. Now, I have to understand in myself that I also have guts. I have enough guts that I could become a billionaire too, just like him. So I have to acknowledge that in myself. So this exercise helps me understand, and if you do it too, if you're on the phone or if you're watching this live and you're doing it on a replay or you're doing it live, it doesn't matter. If you take out a piece of paper right now, or you get your computer out right now and you do this exercise with me, that's what it's going to do. It's going to make you understand that these traits, you have them in you already, and you have them in just as much quantity, just as much strength as these billionaires, and you can do it. You can do it too. So I put down things that I've done that required guts. I did an Ironman in 2012. I didn't have the money, I wasn't trained, and I decided to do it 2 years prior. So I trained, and then I raised the money, and I flew out to Kentucky from Hawaii to do an Ironman, not knowing anyone there. I had to stay with. Yeah, it was interesting. I used couchsurfing.com to find places for me to stay. And I totally hooked up with a local bike team there who I didn't know, made friends. It was a very exciting and interesting experience, I have to say. And that takes a lot of guts. I mean, the more I think about it, the more I realize it does take guts, because I know people in Hawaii who never leave Hawaii except to go to Vegas, and if they have a friend somewhere to go there, and they don't dare go anywhere, they don't know anyone because they're afraid to go somewhere by themselves, and they always go with their spouse, and they never go alone to anything. And it just, I realize how much I can do by myself, and how much I'm willing to do and risk and just go for things. Like after college, I moved to Taiwan. See that one there. So I listed all these things, and I realized, you know what? You have to keep listing them until you realize that you also have that trait. So as many as it takes, basically. And I think I listed about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 of them, and I was like, okay, I have the trait, I'm gonna stop. And then I moved on. I was rotating between liked and disliked traits, okay? Now my disliked trait I didn't like was discrimination, so the birthing movement one, right? So he's really against Obama. He's saying that Obama wasn't born in the United States and therefore was not able to be president. which is very discriminatory. 'Cause the only reason he's doing that is because a woman is black. Okay, I mean it's pretty apparent. So that's discrimination. Now, have I ever been discriminatory against people? Well, yeah. So, and it didn't occur to me how much until I started listing things, and I realized, okay, I discriminate too. And sometimes I discriminate without really, and just doing through the list made me feel kind of guilty of that, actually, because I realized that, Miss Hoity Toity also discriminates. She just does it in a different way, right? I discriminate against people if I think, they're rude. If I think they're rude and, not nice, I'll discriminate against them. If I'm in a position of power over them and I can discriminate, I will sometimes, especially if I take it personally. So I have discriminated in the past. So, it's just ignorance, not really thinking about it, thinking that your way is the right way and not even considering that it's not, and just looking at your actions more objectively and just realizing that, just because you hold this trait dear, like I hold being healthy important. And I used to discriminate against people who were overweight. I used to think that they could make a change and why don't they? And, they're just somehow inferior. And then I realized that, sometimes it really is not as easy as it looks. It really isn't, because I met, that it's because I had this friend that I met who wanted to do an Ironman, who was overweight, and his goal was to do the Ironman because he wanted to use that as a goal to help him get back down to a healthy weight. And as he was doing it, I mean, he dropped a lot of weight. He really did. However, before he made it to the Ironman, he quit his goal because he just kind of fell off the wagon, because of old habits and whatever. And I'm on the same. And the reason I was his friend was because he was helping me with my goals of money, because he's actually financially free in his 30s. He doesn't have to work jobs. He lives on Big Island of Hawaii part-time, and then he goes back to Seattle, and he makes enough money that he can do that, and he can just train with people, hang out, have fun, entertain guests, and he's in his 30s, and I'm in my 30s, and I was not financially free. And I realized that, not being financially free, he could have said the same thing about my money situation. Someone with a good money situation might look at mine and say, oh my gosh, this is someone who doesn't manage their money well, who's always, living paycheck to paycheck at the time. And so I made a goal to be free at the same time he wanted to do his Ironman, and we both didn't make our goals and by the deadline. And I realized that it's just not as, we're making progress toward our goals, however, it's not as easy as it looks. The goal is not as easy. We overestimated the size of the goal compared to our preparation. You see, I've been working on my health my entire life pretty much, because my dad's a doctor, my mom's very health conscious, so I was raised that way. And he was raised to think about money as well. So that's like 30 years, and we expected in 2 years to reverse our circumstances, when we had 30 years head start on the other person in health and in wealth. So it's not exactly, I mean, it's possible, however, not always realistic to think that you can just change things so quickly, if you don't have the right tools and all that. And so, like I said, I realized that I've been discriminating against people who are overweight. So I can put that in. I used to sit in, and you have to put in a very specific instance, the year, the time, where you were on when you did the trait. So this one, like I said, I'm working on this trait of discrimination because I think that Trump discriminates, and then I have to realize that I do that too. So I shouldn't dislike it so much in him. I should just accept the fact that it happens sometimes, and we all have to just work on balancing that out in our lives so we don't hurt other people. basically to level the playing field. You know, you're no better, you're no worse than this person. We're all human. We have the same traits. Okay, so I used to sit in Denny with my family, and I was in middle school in university, and we people who took up the entire bench when we sat down to eat. Yeah, I remember doing that. That was not nice of me. Yeah. My dad would do it. Oh my gosh. So, hello. Okay. Okay, that's enough for me for that one. I know I discriminate. Okay. So moving on to the next one, business savvy. Admire trait number 2. This is the traits that I admire about Donald Trump. The second trait I admire about him is that he has business savvy. Okay. So when have I had business savvy? This one. When have I had business savvy? Okay. Well, I chose to go into internet marketing, which is the cutting edge business today. So that's business savvy. I mean, I chose a good market. I chose a good business to go into. I didn't decide to go into typewriters, right? I chose to go into internet marketing, which is a very wise choice. So that's business savvy. Okay. I managed to make over $1,000 this last year and a half, which is much more than the $12. I mean, I seriously made hardly anything before. I made like less than that. I'd say I made like $6 a year before that. Prior, so that's a big difference. Okay, it's like in terms of percentages, that's a huge difference, right? Gigantic. It's like $6 to 21,000. It's like it's a huge percentage difference. So that's pretty damn good, especially with no business experience, no education, just jumping right in. I still have my business after 5 years. The point where most businesses fail. I'm still going. So that's good. I love what I do for my business. That's the truth. I do. I love what I do. I can keep going with it. I believe that it is important to understand internet marketing and to grow as a leader and to do personal growth, evolve and change strategies with the environment. Okay, so I have to be more specific. So that's too broad. Okay, let me see. So the first one, in 2009, I chose to go into internet marketing, which is a cutting edge business. I managed this last year and a half, so that's 2013. It was actually 2012 that I started. No, it was 2013. The middle of 2013, around April. Okay, and then I still have to date, okay, as of this date, so as of December 20, 2014, I still have my business after 5 years. The point where most businesses failed, I'm still going. Yeah, I just passed the 5-year mark because I started in October, I think, or even actually I think I just started in December of 2009. So yeah, around then. So I just passed it as of September. And when I first started it, I wasn't sure if I loved it. Honestly, I have to tell you the truth, because when I first started doing this internet business, I was doing teaching English online because that's the only thing I could think of that I had a value that I could, blog about on a regular basis and put out content. The only thing I could think of at the time was teaching English as a second language. So that's what I did. And I did it for a whole year. And I'm not sure how much I loved doing that, because teaching English as a second language is not my passion. It took me a long time to figure that out, actually. I've done it for so long, and I did it for over 10 years. So at the time, so the internet marketing was what I like to do. It's just that what I was putting out in the world, the English teaching was not what I wanted. It was valuable though, and I knew it because people paid me to do it. It's just I didn't want to do it. Yeah. So that's the funny thing about this is I think for me, I don't know about for you. For me, the biggest challenge in business and making money and career is figuring out what I want to do. Like, what am I passionate about? What do I love? And it took me a while. And another thing about me is that I can do pretty much anything, except maybe something that required a lot of manual labor cover. Just because, and who knows, I could probably do that too if I really wanted to. I have this firm belief in my head that I can do anything that I want, and I really believe it. It's just that I didn't know what I wanted. I would want this, and I would get it, and then I wouldn't want it. And then I guess this is a common thing, though. I've read enough books to know that this happens a lot. People will get what they want, and then they'll realize they didn't want it. And they'll be like, well, what do I really want? And then they'll go for something else, right? So, I thought I wanted to do so many things, and I did them, and then I realized, okay, that's not what I want. It's funny, huh? Life is so funny. So funny. Okay, so as of today, I love doing this. I love getting on these webinars and doing this readers group. I love it. I love blogging. I love exploring internet marketing. I love seeing ways to help people in my business make money with me. I love doing charitable events with the money we earn. I love the personal growth side of what I do in this business. So I found a business that I actually love to do. Even in the hard times when I'm not making as much, I still do it because I realized finally that I actually do love it. So I realized I need this. So that's business savvy. If you find out what you love, I think that must be business savvy. Okay. Yeah, this one's hard for me because I feel like I don't have business savvy sometimes. There are 4 things there. Do I have business savvy? Do I believe it? So you have to do this exercise. You have to keep listing times when you have business savvy until you believe that you really do have that trait. And then you can stop. Business savvy. When I was back in 1983 or so, during the school year, I would draw comic book cartoons and pictures and sell them to my teachers and classmates. Yeah, I remember doing that. That was fun. Back in the 80s, I saved money in a certificate of deposit, and it grew at 8% interest. Okay, let's see what else. Oh, okay, I know a good one. I don't know exact date. I think it was in 2013. 2013, our colleague, I'm just going to abbreviate his name for confidentiality, asked to borrow money to purchase a product. I advised I did not lend him money. So that's business savvy. And I advised my husband, who did lend him money, to hold his credit report and look at it to verify if he really did have school loans outstanding. Story. I told my husband to get collateral for the loan. Okay, so that is business. Okay, that is business savvy. I totally did that, and I didn't lend the guy money, and the guy ended up being good on that one loan, and the second loan my husband did for him, he was bad on it. He didn't pay him back, so he's not a good person to lend to. And I didn't have that risk because I wouldn't have lent to him anyway. I just didn't want to, because he was too much of a risk, credit risk. And my husband did. The first time he got the money back, and the second time he got burned. So my husband ended up losing money on this guy, and this guy, caused my husband let him cause him grief because my husband lent him money. It's his fault. I shouldn't have lent him money in the first place. So now that they have like these hard feelings against each other because the one guy is not going to pay him back because he's like, oh, someone else took it, which is not my husband's concern. And so there's this whole withdrawal, and in the end, my husband lost money. So it's really kind of when you look at it from the outside, like, oh, that's so sad. However, my husband had the choice to lend him the money, and I had the choice too, and I chose not to. Ooh, another one. Okay. My husband's best friend wanted to borrow money for his business, and I chose not to lend. That was good because he was not good on that either. And I chose not to lend, and thus kept my money. Yeah, that's true. I'm definitely better at business now than I used to be, and that's because I did lend money to someone once, and they didn't pay me back. However, they paid me most of it back, so they just didn't pay the whole thing back. And after that, I realized you just don't lend your money to your best friends. Just don't do it. You don't lend your money to your best friends. It just doesn't happen. Not unless you get collateral. Not unless you get collateral. I would never do it. Never again. Another trait. Okay, so now I'm done with that. So I have business savvy. I finally realized in my heart of hearts that I really do have business savvy. Okay. Oh, another thing I can put down. From 2008 until 2014, I went from $0 per month in passive income to now over $100 a month. That's about maybe over 400 because it's almost 600 per month. And that's in passive income. That's not in, this is not my internet business I'm talking about. Because my internet business, like I said before, I don't feel like it's passive because I still have to do some work to keep it going. Whereas it's just leveraged. So, it's so interesting. And I know what that is. I know what leverage is. You know, I have a lot more business savvy than I think. I really don't give myself enough credit here. Because I understand the concept of leverage. That's why I got into internet business, because of leverage. If you don't know what that is, then it just means that you don't have to work as hard to make more money. You know, it's like you could go to a job like my bank and you make an hourly pay, and if you make a sale, they give you some commission, right? Or you could do the internet where you can make this like this hangout I'm doing right now, and this call. I may have no one on it live, or I may have like one person on it live. However, I'm going to put it on my blog, which is a website, and it's going to be there forever. And someday people are going to come here and they're going to be like, wait, I want to have a billionaire mindset, and she does the exercise right here for free. I'm going to listen to it. They're going to go on here on my blog, and they're going to listen to it, and they're going to be like, wait, you know what? I want to know more about her. I want to know more about her exercises because this stuff is awesome. I think she's great. And then they're going to buy something from me. They're going to buy my webinar that I'm going to put on in January, which I'm going to guide on how to create your financial future for 2015, or, you know, whatever else I'm selling at the time. Or they might just decide to join my current business, which I'm marketing on my blog all the time. And then I'll have made money from that person later on without having to do anything else. So that's leverage. So I did have to work on it now, you know. However, later, I don't have to redo this because it's done. And I know that. I understand that concept. That's leverage. Okay, from 2008 until 2014, I went from $0 in passive to now $500 in passive. Yeah, so I took control of the business of my life. Basically, that's business savvy. Like I said, no schooling except self-taught. That is a big difference in income. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, per month, 500 a month, you could live on that in most of the world. You would be financially free right now. You could live on that much money. So that's really okay. Done. I have business savvy. I am savvy businesswoman. So dislike trait number 2. The second trait I disliked about about Donald Trump was arrogant and vain, and he wants his name and everything. He always wants to say Trump Tower, Trump this, Trump that, right? So that's what Donald Trump. Dislike trait. So dislike trait number 2, beef, things that I don't like about him is that he's arrogant and vain. Wants his name on everything. Okay. Basically wants to take credit for what he does. So how is that a bad thing? Not necessarily a bad thing, right? It's actually a good thing to take credit for what you did, right? Instead of having someone else take credit for it who didn't do it and then get. Okay. So when have I demonstrated arrogance and vanity? I look at myself in the mirror a lot, and I like to look at myself. I guess I don't do that as much now. when I was in school, I liked to look at myself in the mirror a lot and do my hair. Was very concerned about my looks. I don't know if that counts. Moving on, another one was arrogant being. I also want to take credit for the good things that I do. So and this general statement. When was that? 2005, I made a website for the language documentation project with a list of the directors and made it historical list so that I would always be listed as so they wouldn't forget. I put it on the website and I would list from this year, who was the director, from this year, and I could have just erased the prior director and put, director. And instead I made it a historical list of who's a director so that I would always be in there as the founding director of the thing. Oh, I wanted my name on it because I worked hard on that. So I wanted my name on it. I wanted to be known as the director. What else? We did, that was in 2000, maybe 2 or so. Our company did a week-long event it's called Blindball. I'm sorry for the Chinese. Blindball, which is like reservation. I need more in Chinese. Okay, so we did a legal event on Blindball, and we did a final report on the project, which we delivered to the sponsors, and my name was yeah, I want my name to be on things too. If I built it, I want my name to be on it. Website. Put my face and picture. I put our picture at the very top. It was back in 2014. Was it 2014 or 2013? It might have been 2000. Okay. On 5, I have a Facebook fan page with my name on it, and one with me and my husband, and my name is first, even though the standard is to put his name There you go. Because it's May and Jamel, not Jamel and May. This internet business has always been my name first. Of course, I work it. I actually work it. So see, because I work it, I want my name on it because it's like I should get credit because I'm doing all the work. I don't do all the work, however, I do most of the work, which is why I put my name first and his name second. I'm just like that. I'm the same. One of the standard ways is to put his name first and my name second. Fascinating. Oh, that's really interesting. Okay. I am also arrogant and vain and like to put my name on everything. I think that's enough. Okay. So the next one, focused. Meyer trait number 3. Meyer trait number 3 is focused. Okay. I continue as of December 20, 2014. I still do my weekly marketing webinar on Thursday nights. As of December 20, 2014, I still do these leaders are leaders all have webinars. 3. Now I'm doing this, like I said, I'm doing this exercise. I'm using me as an example, obviously also so that I can do the exercise. However, you got to do yourself. Okay, so while I'm doing this, do yourself. What traits do you admire about Donald Trump or whichever billionaire you chose? What traits do you dislike? And then write down specific instances in your life where you demonstrated that trait. Very focused, right? Oh, from 2008 until, it was May of 2008? May of 2008 until present, I always pay myself first and focus on increasing passive income and reducing expenses. From May of 2008 until present, I have kept my budget and keep track of my finances, keeping myself comfortable for our different accounts. Let's see, from 2008 until present, I have been listening and reading books on personal development. Every week, pretty much. I'm very consistent on that, and I listen. Listening to audios at my desk at work for at least the last 4 years. So I've been very consistent with that. Very focused. Yeah, I remember I wanted to start back in 2010. I wanted to start video marketing on the internet. So I bought a camera and paid it off. So, and my weekly video marketing. Okay, I'm focused. I'm gonna move on. I believe that I'm focused. I've always believed pretty much. I think that I'm focused. Okay, so I'm focused. I'm gonna go on. Cheated on his wife. Ooh. Oh boy. Okay, dislike trait number 3. This is really good for me, I think. Okay, dislike trait number 3. Cheated on his wife. The more I do this, the more I realize how much I judge people. And, I've realized this more and more recently. I mean, people have told me I judge them. I went through this whole personal development course with this guy, and it said, I feel like you're always judging me. And it was very public. You and my post said, I think you judge people because I'm like, God, do I really judge people? And at the time, I didn't believe it. And now, since then, just recently, I've realized I judge people freaking a lot. Very judgmental. And because I think it's because I'm so disciplined and focused that I get a lot done that I feel like I'm better than other people, so then I judge them. And that's what was going on, and that's why it's been going on for so long. Okay, so cheated on his wife. I'm probably going to have to stop here, and I'll just say, while I was with my boyfriend, I flirted with other men while I had a boyfriend. What is his name? He rode a motorcycle. Motorcycle. What did I do? That was back in guy. In my sign language. I think it was 2002. So, no, it was like more like 2005. See? There you go. Okay. So I can be a cheater too. Alright, I'm going to stop the exercise. Okay, thank you. Let me just stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to say this. We actually got to dislike trait number 3, so we've done 6 out of 10, which is great. And I'm going to tell you, go home, work on these traits, and if I finish these traits this week, I'm going to move on to a different exercise. If I don't, we're going to continue them. I'm using myself as a model, because if I didn't do it, you probably didn't do it. And if you did it, if I did it, then maybe you did do it. So I'm just going to use that, it takes time to do these exercises, and doing them is the important part, not skipping out. So, okay, so I'm going to stop sharing the screen, and I hope you have a great week. Wait, let me stop sharing now. Okay, if you're on the phone, thank you for joining us. And this is the Values Factor by Dr. John DeMartini, the secret to creating an inspired and fulfilling life. And this is the exercise that is on page 244, and it actually starts on page 242, where he describes what to do and the steps. And it has 3 steps. We are actually on step 3, which is the last step. Okay, thank you for joining. And I will see you soon. Aloha, and next week, same time, 7 a.m. Hawaii time, which is noon Eastern Standard Time on Sunday if you're in the Asia, and on the East Coast, same day, Saturday. Okay, have a great week. Bye-bye. This is me, Dula. Oh, you can find the replay if you want. I should tell you. It's candoitblog.com. Candoitblog.com. So candoitblog.com/readers are leaders. All capital with the first letter. Or you can just go to the blog and look on the right side, and it'll have a list of, it'll say, actually, just go to candoitblog.com, and in the menu, you'll see Readers Are Leaders. You just click on that button, and then you could see this current showing, and then I'm going to put the replays in the blog. Okay, have a great week. Aloha. Bye-bye.